Hello, welcome to another edition of Community Focus. My name is Catherine Jones, and I'm the Executive Director for Bay Area Center for Independent Living. Today's episode is on assistive technology and Bay Area CIL's Assistive Technology Demonstration Lab. It's with great pleasure that I have David Yaki, our Program Manager for Assistive Technology, with us today to demonstrate some of the items that we have in the lab and also talk about assistive technology.
Hi, Catherine. It's really nice to be here.
So assistive technology, could you define for our viewers what do you mean by assistive technology?
Certainly. Assistive technology is basically any device or equipment, whether it's bought commercially or whether it's modified, that can help an individual to live more independently in their home and to improve their functionality.
Okay, and adaptive technology, that sort of falls underneath the umbrella of assistive technology. What is adaptive technology?
Well, adaptive technology, you're right, is a division of assistive technology, but adaptive technology is more specifically designed to help an individual to improve their functionality. Also, adaptive technology tends to be more power-oriented with battery, electric outlets, or solar power.
Okay, so could you give us a few examples of assistive technology versus what adaptive technology would be?
Sure. Well, assistive technology would be like your standard handheld magnifier. There's no power to it, it does one job, and that's all. Adaptive technology would be like a handheld video magnifier that runs off of batteries or an electric outlet that not only magnifies, but because it's video, it can take a picture and you can blow the picture up and magnify it. And most of them will also read to you what it's viewing. So not only does it magnify, but it serves other purposes as well.
Okay. The Assistive Technology Demonstration Lab, who is it open to?
Well, it is open to anyone with any form of disability or their family members. Someone who might come in and try to find a device for their father or their child, and an individual like that.
Okay. And I also understand that vocational support has also been implemented. It's sort of like blending of vocational training along with assistive technology. Why has Bay Area CIL decided to blend the two programs together?
Well, because it just makes sense, basically. We help individuals with disabilities, and oftentimes they're coming in and they're looking for help with finding employment, but they need something that will help them to remove the barriers to gaining employment. And so oftentimes they can find a device or piece of technology in our lab that can help remove that barrier. But we also offer vocational skills training. We also offer pre-vocational skills such as completing a resume, cover letters, job search skills. These are things that we can help teach them while they're in our technology lab.
And is there a fee to
No.
using the lab?
No, there's no fee.
And when is it available for vocational services?
It is open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And what about assistive technology services? What are the hours for that?
The assistive technology hours are actually Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30.
Okay. Now, it's a demonstration lab. So what kind of demonstrations have you done recently?
Well, just this past week, we had an individual, his name is Phil Lenz, come in from a company called Atlantic Low Vision. And they make devices specifically for individuals who are blind or who have low vision. And what he did is he brought their latest and greatest devices in and provided a hands-on demonstration for individuals with low vision and their family members. Well, just this past week, we had a gentleman in by the name of Phil Lenz who works for Atlantic Low Vision. They are a company that makes devices specifically for individuals who are blind or low vision. And so he did a hands-on demonstration with individuals who have low vision, but also for their family members. So they were able to come in, they were able to actually use the devices, try them out, and make sure that they could actually work for them. And it was great to see because some of these individuals hadn't read a book in a couple years. They weren't able to read to read their mail. But with these devices, it was like a whole new world opened up because they could now read, they could now see their mail, and they could do it for themselves without having somebody to read it to them.
Okay. What other demonstrations would you like to have in the future?
Well, I would love to actually do demonstrations for our business community and for our public school administrators, because we have technology that can actually help students with learning and help remove barriers to learning. We have devices that employers could actually take advantage of to help hire individuals with disabilities. And so I would love to be able to do demonstrations for them so they could see how easy it is to actually remove that barrier.
Along with invitations to the community to be a part of these demonstrations, how could other people be able to know what demonstrations were available, when and where? How do they contact Bay Area SIL?
So one of the easiest ways is through social media. We do have a very active Facebook page, and it's updated constantly. So any new demonstrations that we have planned will be posted there. They also can go to our website, which is www.bayareasil.org, and we will have it updated there as well.
Would you recommend that people reserve a spot for the demonstrations?
Yes, definitely. We have an AT room which is full of adaptive and specialized equipment, but seating is limited. So we can fit probably about 20 people. So calling ahead, registering with us would be very helpful.
Okay, and our telephone number is?
Is 443-260-0822, or they can actually email me, which would be dyockey, that's DYOCKEY, at bayareasil.org.
Okay. David, this is the fun part of the episode. It's like the show and tell segment. So we have lots of, it looks like we have some assistive and adaptive technology devices with us. Which one would you like to demonstrate first?
Well, first I will actually go with one of our most popular, and that is this one here. This is called the Minnow, and it is actually an assisted listening device. And what it does is it amplifies the sound around you. So when you put the headphones on, you can actually now hear everything that's going on around you. And I actually have a very good story with this one. I had a lady in the town of Galena who was 101 years old, who has not really been able to hear much for at least, I think it was 5 or 6 years. She had stopped going to church, had stopped going to her Bible club, actually had pretty much disengaged herself from the community because she couldn't hear, even with hearing aids. So I was actually at her house for a telephone demonstration, and we got talking, and I was like, let me come back and I've got something for you to try. So I brought this out, we put the headphones on, we turned the volume on, and I told her, I said, now I'm going to walk the distance of your house and you yell when you can no longer hear me. Now, this lady, in order to hear you, you had to stand like a foot in front of her and yell. I walked the length of her house and she never yelled. She could hear me the whole way. So we actually found a church group that actually provided the money to buy this device for her. Her TV volume went from 79 down to 15. So
Big difference.
Yes, family could actually sit in the room with her and watch television with her. She went back to church. She went back to her book club because she could now hear everything that was being said. And this simple little device actually only retails for about $150. So it's really not that expensive for somebody in the community.
So not only are you assisting her to be able to live independently, but you've also have changed the quality of her life.
Exactly.
And her family members must be so grateful.
Oh, yes.
And congregation that she can be fully engaged again.
Yes. In fact, there's not probably a month goes by that someone from her family isn't contacting me in some way and thanking us for helping her.
Thank you. All right. What other devices?
Well, this is a fun one. This is called the Pen Friend. And as you can see, it's called that because it actually looks like a giant pen. But what this does is this helps individuals who are blind or low vision to be able to identify what it is that they're looking for.
And I see you've got some sort of a medicine in your hand,
Yep.
Tums.
And they all come with these little dots. And then all you do is you take the pen, place it on the dot,
Tums and acid assorted berries.
and it will actually tell you what it is. You program into the dot what it is that it is identifying.
I could see somebody rooting around in their medicine cabinet with low vision and or those that are legally blind and not being able to tell the difference between their medications. So this is a wonderful device, particularly for safety measures. So there's a dot on the bottle, but who programs the dot?
Either a family member can, or if they don't have a family member, we can assist them with that.
Okay, wow, wonderful. Okay, what other devices?
This is one of the newest technology that's out there. It is called liftware. And I'll give you a demonstration here real quick. This is actually a device for individuals who have tremors or Parkinson's disease, thank you, who have trouble eating. And what it does is you just take this is the spoon, but they actually have a fork that can go on there and a knife that can go on this as well. You just put it on there and it automatically starts. And what it does is it takes the rhythm from your heartbeat and helps you to keep the spoon stable. So that way, even if you're shaking, the food doesn't fall off.
And I think we all know someone or have a loved one that has a tremor that would benefit from this
Yes.
device. And this could change their future for them. For some that need assistance in being able to eat, end up being in nursing and rehabilitative facilities,
Right.
so they can have the assistance around the clock. So really, it's about being an individual being able to remain at home.
That's very true.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. All right. And you had mentioned with the Assistive Technology Lab that you do assessments. So if
Yes.
you wanted to have an individualized assessment, first off, what does it cost and how do you schedule one?
Well, the great thing about this program is that all of our assessments are free. There's absolutely no charge for an assessment. And getting an assessment is easy. You know, we love to make things as user-friendly and easy as possible, so there are multiple ways that individuals can do that. One, give us a call. You know, our telephone number is 443-260-0822. That's the easiest way. Just pick up the phone, give us a call. Stopping by, just walk in. If you don't have time for demonstration, then we can schedule one with you, or email.
And it's conducive for an entire family to come in. And as you were saying earlier, oftentimes we'll find a family member coming in because they're concerned about their mom or dad or their brother, and they want to make sure that they have all the devices that they need in order to be able to remain at home.
That's right.
Now, can an assessment happen in their home? So let's say I was concerned about my mom, and she wasn't able to leave her home because she doesn't have, let's say, a wheelchair ramp or something along those lines. Can you go to the home to do the assessment?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely, because like in a situation you just described, where it's hard for the individual to get out of their home, we can actually bring devices to them as long as we know what the disability is and what it is that they're trying to overcome.
And I just mentioned ramps. Are ramps considered assistive technology?
Yes,
Okay.
ramps are.
What kind of ramps does Bay Area still have?
Well, we actually have a program right now through the state of Maryland, through the Maryland TAP program, to help provide temporary ramps
Okay.
that are portable. We also work closely through our independent living program, we work closely with a program called Chesapeake Housing Mission, who actually helps to provide permanent ramps.
So if a consumer, it sounds like there's just like wraparound services. If an
Yes.
assessment's needed, they can either come into our demonstration lab and or we'll go to them to
That's
see
correct.
what they need. Wow, there's so much technology you've already talked about and so many services offered. Who are our supporters? Who sponsors the Assistive Technology Demonstration Lab?
Okay, so we receive funding through the United Way of the Lower Shore, the Maryland Rural Council, and also the Maryland Technical Assistance Program.
Okay. I figured there would have to be a lot of funding sources for all of that. And the Maryland Rural Council, they've actually helped us purchase some of the computers so that we're able to offer vocational services. And we're very excited that we'll be able to do that for transitioning youth,
Yes.
ages 14 on up. So you had mentioned that you had gone to someone's home and assessed them to see if they were eligible for a telecommunication device.
Right.
I see that you've brought some telephones. Who is in charge of this program, and what is this program about?
Well, this is actually a part of the Maryland Relay Program. It is a program offered through the state of Maryland to help provide free adaptive telecommunication equipment for individuals with hearing loss, vision loss, limited mobility, and cognitive impairment.
Okay, so again, I hear you said free. How can that be free? How can these telephones be offered to residents in Maryland without there being some kind of charge to it, David?
Well, it's free to the consumer, meaning that they don't have to purchase the equipment. So what happens is everyone in the state of Maryland who receives a telephone bill, whether it's a landline or a cell phone, there's a portion on the bill that says taxes, fees, and surcharges. And one of those taxes, fees, and surcharges is a 7-cent charge that everyone in the state of Maryland pays. And that money goes in to pay for this program.
Okay, so next time I get my cell phone bill, at least I'll understand what are all these added fees. It's assisting individuals with disabilities.
That's correct.
So could you show us a couple of these telephones that you brought with
Sure.
you?
Start with this one here. This one is the latest telephone that they've come out with. It's cordless, which is wonderful because the majority of people prefer cordless phones. But it's also better for an individual with mobility issues because they don't have to try to get to a desk phone in time. They can actually keep this with them. But what makes this so great is not only is it amplified up to 40 decibels, but it also has talking features, so the buttons will talk. But the great thing about this is the newest part. Is that you know how sometimes you're on the phone and somebody you can hear them fine, but they just talk way too fast. This phone actually has a button that you can push called slow, and it will slow the person down in real time. So you push the slow button, you're talking, and even though I may talk like this and I'm talking pretty fast, on the phone it will sound like I'm talking like this. So it's easier for the person not only to hear but to understand. It also comes with a built-in amplified answering machine, because as we all know, answering machines don't always have the best sound quality. So it's amplified, so it's louder, the people can hear it better, but it also has the same slow feature. So if the person's talking fast, you can hit the slow button and it slows the message down.
So this benefits individuals with intellectual disabilities as well.
Right, exactly.
Okay. And
Exactly.
I see another telecommunication device.
Yeah, this one is actually a caption phone from a company called Captel. And what it is basically you just pick up the phone, you dial the phone number, and while you're talking, you will still hear what the person says, but you'll also read it across the screen. This is wonderful for individuals with hearing loss, but who don't want to use a traditional TT-wide where you have to type the answers and you have to read. This one allows you to still talk. They can hear your voice, you can hear theirs, but just to make sure that you understand the conversation, you'll read it as well. It also has a built-in captioned answering machine. So when a person leaves the message, it also captions it for you. So the individual with hearing loss might be able to hear, hey, this is my doctor, but I didn't quite catch that appointment. They'll be able to read when their appointment is.
Can you expand the font on it and make
Yes,
it bigger?
yes,
Okay.
the font will actually, it goes from small all the way up to extra large. And the extra large is about a good inch to inch and a half tall.
Now, I'm very curious. Right behind you, you've brought, it looks like an iPad on a stand. iPads are so popular right now, particularly with all the apps that can be put on them for individuals with disabilities. So why an iPad? Why did you bring it today? And what does it have to do with Maryland Relay?
The iPad is actually becoming a device that not only will access the internet, but is also becoming wonderful for telecommunications purposes. I'll give you a demonstration of one app here. We use this app called Proloquo to Go. It is a speech generating app. And this is important because we have individuals who can't use the telephone because they can't talk. They have no voice, or they have a soft voice. And so what this does is we can actually connect this right to a telephone. And then while you're talking on the phone, you'll still hear what the person says, but you'll use this to talk. Let me clear this up.
Hi, bye. Good night.
So it will actually speak for the individual on the telephone.
Now, Maryland Relay is now offering iPads
Yes, they are.
for consumers. How old do you need to be to apply for an iPad?
Well, you just have to be at least 3 years old and a resident of the state of Maryland. Now, Maryland Relay does stipulate that they are to be used primarily for telecommunication purposes. But what is telecommunications these days? It's not just picking up the telephone and talking. It is now texting, it is now email, it is now video chatting, and you can do all of that right through this iPad, including a new service called Video Relay. What that is individuals who use sign language to communicate can actually access an app on the iPad and communicate with another individual by signing right through the camera on the iPad.
Well, it's really exciting to see Maryland Relay now offering iPads, particularly because I could see children and school-age children that are in need of an iPad, so they're able to communicate, becoming
Yes.
more fully engaged in the classroom and being able
Exactly.
to forge friendships with their peers. So where do you begin to apply for an iPad or any of these telecommunication devices?
Well, there is an application that has to be filled out. You can either contact us and we can get you the application, or you can actually go to Maryland Relay's website and actually download the application there. Their website is www.mdrelay.org.
Being that we're a demonstration center, I'm already thinking, what we could do with these newly acquired iPads, particularly for those that are school-aged in any of our 9 counties. What kind of demonstrations can we give in the lab? What do you foresee in the future as more of our children are acquiring these?
Well, we do have iPads on display that can actually be used. So it's wonderful because the families can come in and they can actually sit down at the iPad, try these apps out with their children and make sure that they're the proper apps that can work with them. But also, we do have a family resource center at Bay Area SIL. So I foresee in the future actually having like game nights where the families can bring their kids and they can try out these apps and actually make a game out of the apps while the kids are learning how to use them. And the families learn how to use them. And through the games actually see how the apps can benefit them in their everyday life.
Well, I love to ask this question, okay? If money wasn't an issue and you could have anything that you would want in the Assistive Technology Lab, where do you see technology taking us in the future? What kind of items would you love to be able to purchase for this lab?
Well, first I would love to see if money wasn't an issue.
We're dreaming.
Yes. Yes, I would actually love to see assistive technology demonstration labs up the shore. It's great that we have the one here in Salisbury and that we can do in-home, but it would be really nice to be able to have state-of-the-art demonstration labs in the mid and an upper shore as well. So that would probably be my first dream. But as far as actual devices, technology is just moving so fast these days that we need to keep up with the cutting edge, so to speak. And one of those devices is called the Leap Motion. And I love this device because it's not expensive at all. It's very easy for families to purchase, but the technology is just amazing. It's just a little brick that connects to your computer, and you can actually control your entire computer with just a very slight movement of a pencil tip. So if you can move your finger just like this, you can control your whole computer. If you have no mobility below your shoulders, but you can use a pencil stick, you can control your entire computer just with this little tiny device. It's amazing. You know, we're getting more into virtual reality. I can see in the future that being used to help people with disabilities. So that's kind of where I would like to see things go.
You always have to be looking into the future because
Yes.
we want to have and demonstrate the best things that are out there. But we also know when it comes to technology that it can be expensive.
Yes.
So what does Bay Area SIL do to help offset some of those expenses? Because I mean, you could be playing with something, really want to take it home, then what? What can we offer?
Well, the first thing is that we're not just a demonstration lab, we also loan out equipment. So any of the devices that we have, we can loan out for like up to a 3-week trial period. Because it's great that it works in our lab, but we need to make sure that it works in your home too. And that it's the right device. Because you can sit and you can play with the device for 10, 15 minutes, half hour, however long they want to there. And they think this could work, but you don't really know until you get it home. So that's why we loan them out, for people to get real world experience. So that's the first thing. And so now we've identified, yes, this device works, but how do I pay for it? That's always the question.
Tough one.
Because a lot of the equipment is not cheap. So how do we cover that? Well, first of all, we have an independent living program that can help to find resources. You know, they're very good at finding resources through various local charity organizations. We've gotten help from them many times. There are a lot of businesses have charitable portions to their business as well, such as Chop Tank Electric.
Been a big supporter.
Yes, they've helped us many times. So that's where we find a lot of the money from. And we're always looking for more opportunities. We're always looking for grants that are out there. We're always going to other funding sources and letting them know of what we're doing, in the belief that they will give us money to help individuals.
So this is a question I'd like to ask just to sum it all up. What would be the top 3 reasons why you should contact Bay Area SIL or come into our demonstration lab? What would be the 3 reasons?
Well, number 1, because you can get hands-on experience with devices that can help you live independently in your home. Number 2 is that we do have devices that cover a wide range of disabilities. So if you know that you need something but you don't know what you need, come in. We can help fit you with the right device that can help you. And number 3, because we do offer a wide range of services, not just assistive technology, but assistive technology lab actually acts as an open door, an entryway, so to speak. You come in and you're looking for a device and you find out not only do we have the device, but we actually have an independent living program that can help teach you skills, that can help you find resources to stay independent in your home. We have a vocational program that can actually help you to find employment even with your disability. So I would say the 3rd reason is that the Assistive Technology Lab is an open door to the rest of the services that we can help you with.
Thank you, David, for being on today's episode and showing our viewers some of the assistive technology devices that are out there and the ways that they can access them through Bay Area SIL.
Well, thank you, Catherine. It was great to be here, and I enjoyed talking with our viewers and helping them to understand the devices that we have to help them live more independently.
And thank you for watching this episode of Community Focus, where every day is Independence Day at Bay Area Center for Independent Living. We hope you tune in for our next show. We look forward to telling you more about our support planning agency. Thank you for making us part of your day.